to be intact. Okay, let's bring it in for analysis.
The implant recovered by the extraction team has fascinating properties. An instant transfer of consciousness, even at the moment of death.
So much blood has been spilled in the name of our faith. Too many have died at the hands of Imperians.
Imagine the military application.
But we have been blessed. I will unleash this new power and end the war.
We cannot allow one nation to control it.
They have done enough to leave their mark on history. Their soldiers would be dangerous beyond measure.
The power they would have, they would be
immortal.
Hi guys, it's Luetin here. I'm back for some more Dust 5 on 4. Now today we're going to be looking at some of the preparatory work that you would do in your mech room before you would go down and engage in battle. All of these things that kind of need to be understood. Now I have no prior real understanding to this. I have only the in-game menus, and you know, I did get loads of suggestions, loads of requests, loads of links about you know, how to do this, how to go about it. But I really think that, you know, you shouldn't need to do that as a player. It should be quite straightforward. You should be able to understand it yourself. The other thing is, whilst there were loads of requests and suggestions for me last time I recorded this to, you know, help me understand the game, and there were loads of people saying I've done videos about this, which I kind of didn't look at straight away, and there were other people saying I can help you understand things and so on and so on. Now I can understand that whenever you get into games it's good to have this kind of stuff, and I know that with my Battlefield videos I've made videos with the whole purpose of trying to assist people to understand other things in the game. Whilst it's true that that is a really helpful thing, I always think that a game should give you enough information that you can understand it yourself. Now I don't consider myself to be a stupid person. I would consider myself a fairly intelligent person. So understanding the systems that are within EVE and, you know, and then into Dust shouldn't be too complicated. So I should be able to look at these and pretty much understand the game straight away. It shouldn't be that difficult to do. Let's see what happens, because as I say, I had a quick look at it last time. I spent a bit of time with it. Now again we seem to be doing something here. Downloading. Now I'm pretty sure I did this last time I came in. Now I know this is just a beta or whatever you want to call it. So I'm sure that this probably doesn't represent how things will be with the final title and so on and so on. But right now this is what you get when we're coming into the game. The thing is, you know, as well, the concept art that you see is so light and kind of loose and interesting. I wonder whether it would have been a better choice for them to make a game that had this kind of painterly style. You know, that would have been quite interesting for a graphic style for a game, to have this kind of loose sort of artisticness to it. And when you played, like, have a mixture of tight and loose design work. That would have been really, really cool and interesting. Some of the rocks you come up to have kind of got opacities to them, or the buildings have got these kind of, like, you know, loose sort of lines into them. And then when you have your weapon, it's kind of more detailed, but when you fire, perhaps it has loose elements and stuff like this. You know, could have gone with a really interesting style, but I think we really have to wait and see what comes with these upcoming patches and stuff. I have to tell you though, I'm not feeling this game at the moment. You know, it feels... it doesn't really drive me to play it. You know, I don't think, oh man, I've got to get on Dust. At the moment it feels like more of a hassle than a pleasure. But I haven't put a ton of amount of time into the game, so I'm going to keep on with it a little bit more. But I do think that, You know, as I've spoken to several people before, the producers, and you know, a word that always comes up when you're playing a game is it needs a hook. It needs a hook to play. You know, there has to be something there that makes you think, yeah, I want to get into that game. With Battlefield, I think it's the kind of open world destructibility of the engine and so on. The fact that, I mean, if you look at some of my recent gameplay, like the Bandar Desert, you know, I'm driving across with a tank and then stuff blows up and there's a jet comes down, it goes, and, you know, takes off flying through the bases. All of this stuff going on. It's quite, Battlefield can be quite a kind of dirty game. It feels really sort of, you know, there's smoke and grit and mud and fire, and it's all this kind of stuff that you're fighting through. When you have a space game like this, a science fiction game, which is more kind of clean, futuristic, I think the gameplay needs to represent that. The gameplay needs to be clean and futuristic, and it needs to kind of be smooth and take you through. I wouldn't really say that my experience of Dust so far has been smooth, and I still question whether it's like it's an admirable thing to kind of try and do, but I just wonder its complexity. I think it's potentially over complex, so we'll see. Another interesting point of something that people said was, I said that I wasn't sure whether the kind of console PlayStation community was really sort of hardcore enough to be able to dedicate themselves to one game like this. But some people kind of made the point that, you know, there are not perhaps many games, if any, who have really tried to kind of push that style of game before, which is a fair point. So it could be that there are players out there who are looking for a sole game to kind of throw themselves into, a kind of MMO style game. But personally, I do find it a kind of unusual choice that they have a PC game like Eve, which is a very, very strong PC title. You know, it's a big one, and then they decide to kind of split the title into the console, which seems a curious choice to me. It just seems like it's making it more complicated almost for the sake of it. I don't know. On the other hand, you could look at it from this point of view, that Eve has got a style of computer, you know, the gameplay suits PC play. Whereas a shooter, like kind of this Dust is trying to be, it does suit kind of how consoles function. It's also kind of the idea that you have these kind of two divided communities, the guys on the ground, the guys up in the systems in space. So from that point of view, I can kind of see where they're coming from. Choose my character. Here's Luetin. Terminate. I like that idea. Just terminate your character. So we're not really going to be looking at gameplay today. If you're looking for gameplay, then it's not really what you want to be looking at today. Today you're going to be looking at the systems, how they work, the kind of skill points aspect, and these kind of things. So items are bought onto the marketplace. Purchase items are used to create drop suits and vehicle fittings. Then items in drop suit and vehicle fittings are consumed in battle. So it doesn't really seem like a cycle, it's just a kind of, I would have made that a more linear line really, because if they're used in battle, but I don't know. Right, you're currently in your Merc quarters, the MQ. This is where you spend downtime between battles. Everything you need can be accessed from this room or via your personal Neocom. To activate the Neocom, you press L1. Or, you know, from the Neocom, you can have access to the following menu sheets. Battle, where you can join battles. Character, where you can see your character summary and skills. Fitting, where you can create fittings for use in battle. Market, where you can purchase items for use in fittings. The social area, where you can communicate with friends and enemies. The corporation, where you manage corporation. System ops, where you can alter settings. And help, where you can access tutorials and instructions. Note that you can access text and voice chat by pressing select. This will bring up the chat window. The core channel can be used to chat with people in the same corporation, while in the MQ, the team channel is used to communicate with your teammates during battle. Right. So first up, let's take a look around our little MQ area. Now, we can't really go anywhere. It's pretty much a single room. Now, as I say, you can feel my kind of settings still feel quite sluggish. So let's just try and improve this a little bit. Now, what we want is Oh yeah, it's R2. We want to increase the sensitivity. Now you notice my sensitivity for my turning is way up already. Let's just see whether that actually will do anything. Right, it's saving this. Feels mildly faster, but I'm still having to do a big turn there. Well, let's be done with that for now. It's not quite the same as in combat anyway. Right, so this is our battle finder. So the battle finder is a star map utility that lists all battles currently taking place in New Eden. Battles are categorized as mercenary or corporation. The former, which is mercenary, lists work for hire contracts that are available for all mercenaries 24/7, while the latter shows battle for the corporations. Battles can take two forms, so only two forms of battle. Ambush, two teams of mercenaries fight to deplete the available clone reserves of the other team within the allotted time, so it's a TDM basically. Skirmish, two teams vie for control of designated planetary location by destroying the enemy mobile command center in the area while protecting their own. By capturing and maintaining control of null cannon installation components, a team is able to increase the amount of damage done to the MCC, and more null cannons held the faster the blah. So it's basically kind of conquest of a format. So these are our instant battles we have available. Now these are mercenary battles that are available. Apparently it's the Taipei game show. All seem to be pretty full right now. And no core battles available. So we've got a couple of bits and pieces going on here. I'm not sure what the bit on the right hand side relates. Oh, it's our chat. So we've got notifications, the local chat, core, and then a squad. So if we were to create a squad, let's see what happens here. So I've got a squad with 4 empty slots in. So if I invite a player, okay, so it will go, apparently I have no contacts, so I need to search for other people. It's not a case of just going to your PSN list, you need to have actual, because of course I had to create my extra character within Eve, so I can't just go to my PSN and within Dust, I can't just go to my character PSN list or whatever to see who's online. I have to actually do that. Okay, we've got vehicle fitting down here, look. So you can pretty much go in from the menu, or you can go around the room and do it as well. So there's my character sheet, etc, etc, in the marketplace here. But we can do all this from the Neocom, so we don't need to be near any of these things to do this. It's kind of annoying trying to turn my camera. Really, it's hard work. Right. So let's start off. We've done the battle. Let's look at the character sheet and our skills and augmentations. So first of all, skills. Skills define you. Based upon the speciality chosen during character creation, certain skills will already be trained. Arbiters are skilled in the use of sniper rifles and a shield boost. Artificers are skilled in the use of repair tools and nanite injectors. Enforcers are skilled in the use of sidearms and nano hive operation. Sentinels are skilled in the use of swarm launch. Blah. However, this is only the beginning. To be an effective combatant, you need to train skills using skill points you've accrued. Skill points are accrued passively over time, whether you are logged in or not, as well as actively by participating in battles. Skill points are... Wait, let's just... What? Skill points are actively time logged in or not. Yeah, so it's like Eve, so basically you accrue skill points over time anyway. Skill points are then used to train levels up to maximum of 5 of skills which you already have acquired in necessary skill books, skill basics. Except for militia gear, all items have skill prerequisites that must be satisfied before they can be used. To train a skill, you must first purchase... So I'm slurring my words. First purchase a skill book from the market or directly from the skills sheet in order to unlock that skill. Skill points can then be applied to increase the level of that skill. Each skill has 5 levels, level 1 representing basic understanding to mastery at level 5. As your skill level increases, your effectiveness with gear improves. Additionally, certain skills will unlock more advanced skills, which in turn grant access to even more powerful gear. The skill prerequisite of any item can be seen in the Prerequisites tab of the show info window. Did you get that, guys? It's pretty straightforward.
Would you like to know more?
Yeah, why not?
Fittings are integral to your success on the battlefield, but it's the skills you train that define the warrior you will ultimately become.
So we select skills.
Your clone continually accrues skill points, in battle and out. In turn, these skill points are applied to skills to increase their effectiveness. The skills sheet lists all skills your clone is currently hardwired with. New skills are acquired by purchasing skill books on the market or directly from the All Skills tab.
Select the neural trainer skill and choose Upgrade skill from the context menu to upgrade it to the next level. So we basically click on this, upgrade it. Upgrade neural trainer requires 0 skill points. Okay, so we're just upgrading it basically. If you don't have enough skill points for next level, the skill appears in red. Right, fine. So basically, it'd be nice if you could kind of select how many skill points you actually want to move it up rather than having to do it every single time.
Would you like to know more?
No, because I'm doing it myself. So we already did that one. Drop suit command. So if we look at info for this, base skill for operating drop suits. Unlocks assault suits at level 1, scout and logistics at 2, heavy at 3, and access to specific suit specializations at level 5. So, you know, that's pretty useful to have. So we upgrade this one. Now if we look at prerequisites, yeah, that's basically the info. So we upgrade this. Now let's look at our skill points available and see how many. Now you can see next level cost there. Alright, it says skill points 62220 and next level cost 18.650. So I don't think we necessarily have the... Let's just see what happens here. Okay, so we seem to have put points into that, but I don't see it having been taken off of the top of my skills right there. Let's try it again. Upgrade skill. Requires 43,530 points. Oh yeah, there we go. So it says unallocated in the sort of the green there, 467. I don't know whether it's 87,000 or whether it's just 87 skill points. I expect it's 87 and 0.60 or whatever. So we've unlocked a little bit of that. We've got some more points to spend. So circuitry, let's see what circuitry does. Basic understanding of circuitry unlocks ability to use drop uplinks and electronics modules. 5% bonus to drop suit and vehicle CPU output per level. Okay, I'm not quite sure what that means. Nano circuitry. Skill and knowledge of nanocircuitry is, and its use in the operation of advanced technology, unlocks access to nanohives and nano-injectors. Again, see, I don't even know what those are, so it's difficult to know whether those are a good thing to spend or not. I have no way, like, why doesn't it explain to you what that is? Nanohives, nano-injectors. I have no idea what that is. Assault rifle operation. Now, again, this seems to be, it should be fairly straightforward. It's your skill at handling assault rifles. But what? 5% bonus to assault rifle dispersion and kick per level. So it's going to be like your recoil and dispersion. I guess what they actually mean is your accuracy. So let's put a bit of skill into that. 37. And we see our unallocated points drop down there. Scrambler pistol. Again, it's probably going to be on a par. Yep, +1 scrambler pistol clip size per level. So it increases. That's not really skill, that's just your clip size. So let's put a bit into that. Weaponry. Skill at using handheld weapons. What are unhandheld weapons? But +2% to handheld weapon damage per level. That seems quite a useful thing to have. Okay, so we've done quite a bit there. Now let's go on to these augmentations and see what this is. So we've got active boosters, passive boosters, and a universal voice transmitter. Again, no idea what these are. You don't have any available augmentations. Would you like to purchase some? I guess so. Let's have a look. The market is where you buy the gear you'll need to be a successful mercenary. Items listed on the market can be purchased with either ISK or Aurum. ISK is earned by participating in battles, while Aur can be purchased from the PlayStation Store. So you can see I've got 719,769 ISK, or 719. I'm not sure that's supposed to be a point, or just an abbreviation. The items you purchase on the market come in two forms: regular items and blueprints. Regular items are exhaustible. Once they have been depleted, more will have to be purchased from the market, but blueprints are inexhaustible. They will never deplete. So once you've built a blueprint, that's basically going to be there. It's going to be yours. Note that even though you can buy any item on the market, you will need skills in order to use most of the items on offer. Be sure, so that's quite good. You can buy an item and kind of save it for when you want to use it. Be sure to pay attention to the item's skill requirements. Use show info to get detailed information. When purchasing an item, with a green checkmark indicates that you have the necessary skills to use it, while a red cross means you are missing the skills necessary to be able to use that item.
Would you like to know more?
Yes, let's do that.
Excellent. With the right skills and a well-made fitting, you will make a formidable presence on the battlefield. But you're only as good as the tools at your disposal.
Okay, let's go to the market.
The market contains all the combat gear you'll ever need. It's here that you can acquire the weapons, dropsuits, equipment, vehicles, and turrets you'll need to create dropsuit and vehicle fittings. Market items can be bought using ISK or Aurum.
One thing that's quite good is it makes you physically go into this menu. As a tutorial, often tutorials will simply just show you what to do. It's quite good that you have to manually sort of click in, because a manual the fact that you have to mechanically do this helps you remember. And something that tutorials can be bad about is that if it just shows you what to do, you often kind of watch it but don't really take it in. Whereas if you have to just physically do it, it helps you remember.
A militia item has no skill requirements, so you can buy and use it immediately. For now, purchase the Militia Assault Dropsuit and then exit the market.
A green checkmark indicates you have the necessary skills, blah blah blah. So we can buy all of these things. Now that's 585 ISK. Let's see how much that devastates our ISK. We just want one.
This concludes the current tutorial.
Blah blah, okay.
Would you like to know more?
No. Now, we've got drop suits here as well. Infantry drop suits designed to protect and sustain the wearer in even the harshest environments. Different drop suit classifications offer specific bonuses to speed, mobility, defense, and configurability. Oh, well, I didn't mean to do that. It's taking me to PlayStation Store and I don't want to do that. I like how it won't cancel until it's gone into the menu. It seems to be taking a long time. Right, there we go. Let's have a look actually at the price here. So 100,000 costs £40. 40,000 Aurum costs $15.99. So 1632. Half that again, we're at £8. Half it again, we're at £4. 4,000 Aurum is costing you £2, and then if you want to, we've got at the top here, we've got 200k. So a range of choices of selecting Aurum there. Now let's look at this scout. Everyone keeps telling me that the scout is a good one because it moves fast, basically. A Neo Scout type, a standard suit that simplified protocols and predictive kinetics to allow operation by untrained users. A Galante Scout drop suit. What is this? I'm confused as to what, there's like Let's open the viewer. I'm assuming it's meant to be loading something here. Okay, doesn't seem to be working. Now what is this? Skill at operating Galantis Scout drop suits unlocks access to... Okay, so that's our skill book, okay, in order to operate different drop suits. So you see we can purchase this, but we don't have the skill to do so. I like the fact that this... I like the fact that that suit there can only be purchased with Aurum. It's a Valor Scout type. So I'm confused again as to sort of what gear can go or whatever, but let's go to the market. Let's go to what the tutorial showed us to do.
Would you like to know more?
Let's go down to militia gear and we'll do what it demonstrated for us. So we've got other things here as well. We've got turrets that we can buy. We've got vehicles that we can buy. So we can buy all of this different stuff here. We've got weapons that we can buy. A forge gun. Militia sniper rifle blueprint. Again, notice that the blueprint can only be purchased with this Aurum stuff. Okay, so a blueprint there is costing you, let's say, 12,000 Aurum. And 12,000 Aurum, I've already forgotten. Let's see what it's going to cost you. I think it was going to cost you a few pounds. Okay, right, I'm back. Now, the game actually crashed while I was trying to check out the price of Aurum. But anyway, I think it's kind of annoying when certain things can only be purchased with sort of the, you know, the purchasing.
Would you like to know more?
You have to buy. It does irritate me. I appreciate that that's how free-to-play games work, but it is annoying. Let's look at equipment here. So nanohives. What the hell are nanohives? Nanohive replenishes ammunition from its limited internal stores for any allied units within its effective range. Right, so it's an ammo resupplier, basically. I did find that I was losing ammo quite a lot, so let's get one of these. So we've got 2,800 ISK. Alright, and let's see... Okay, so it is, yeah, I've got 719,000, so I've got quite a lot of this. Would you like access to dropsuit fitting and equip the item now? Okay, let's try that. So fitting is where you use the items in your inventory to create dropsuit loadouts for use in battle. You must have at least one valid fitting in order to enter battle. Starter fittings are issued to all new recruits, so you'll always be able to get back into the fight. Every dropsuit has a unique slot configuration that determines the type and amount of items you can fit it with. Once selected, each slot will display the list of items in your inventory that can be fitted to that slot. Power grid and CPU, PG CPU, are used up as items are fitted to the available slots. Once the available PG CPU is exhausted or all the slots are filled, no further items can be fitted unless others are first removed. Basically, the simplest way to think of that is kind of like the pick 10 for COD. You have a set amount of points and you can like assign it to equipment. A red highlighted slot indicates items that have been exhausted. You'll need to restock that item from the marketplace or replace it with another. Yellow indicates default items that cannot be removed from a fitting. They can, however, be replaced with other items. A blue highlighted slot indicates blueprints. These have unlimited users and will never need to be restocked. So I guess you can't lose those in effect. Once you're in battle with a blueprint item, it can't be lost. Each time you spawn into battle, one of every item in your selected fitting is expended. Okay, if you run out of items, your fitting will become invalid and you'll be unable to spawn using that fitting unless you first replenish the missing items or replace them. So you can, you're gaining your ISK from battles, so you need to rack up a certain amount of items to take with you to use them. A fitting can become invalid for the following reasons: it does not have at least one weapon, one or more items in the fitting have been exhausted, one or more items in the fitting require skills your character does not have, or the total PG CPU of the fitted items exceeds the available of the drop suit. Select Create New from the available fittings list. Choose a drop suit from these available in your inventory and highlight any weapon slot and use a weapon from those available. After confirming your choice, the weapon will be filled to the slot. The number on the weapon indicates how many units of that weapon you have left in your inventory. At this point, you have a valid fitting. Your fitting is auto-saved, so you can exit the menu or continue to fit other weapons, modules, and equipment. So these are all our starter fit items, okay? Let's create a new one. So we have some selections here. Okay, we've got Enforcer, Assault Sniper, Assault Anti-Armor, blah blah blah. So these I assume are going to be our things. Let's go to the marketplace.
Would you like to know more?
I'm keeping those for now just in case I kind of want to, you know, re-listen to any of them. It's the Kill Switch GEC 38 Assault Rifle for 50 Aurum. How nice. Right, we've got this militia gear, but let's look at drop suits up here. Now I keep hearing a lot about the Scout, but let's look at what Assault does as well. Neo Assault type, standard suit. Okay. Right, we've got different Scout types. Now I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We can't buy this, look, because it's 70 Aurum, alright. What we can do is spend. Now we already have the Galante Scout drop suit level 1. Now I don't know why we can't use, we don't have the skill for that. Oh, we do have the skill for this thing though. Purchase and use skill book. Right, let's try and do that. Let's see what it unlocks. So purchasing and using that skill book. And it seems that nothing has been unlocked. So let's look at this show info. The Scout drop suit is a lightweight suit. Blah blah blah. So basically lets you move faster. I'm not going to read through all of this right now. If you want to read this, you can pause it and read this through. Now here's the Galante Scout drop suit level 2. Now I'm kind of confused, right? Because I purchased that Scout drop suit thing, assuming that it would mean that I could purchase this Scout Type 1. But for some reason, it could be that we need to put some points into skills or something.
Would you like to know more?
Right, here we are, Galante Scout drop suit. So let's confirm to put some points into this. Okay. Right, now we've got level 1 on that. So now if we go back to the marketplace, perhaps we'll be able to buy that item.
Would you like to know more?
So now we go down to drop suits and Scout. And there we are, look, now Scout Type 1 is available to us. So we bought the book for it, then we went into our skill tree, we put skill up to level 1, which meant that we actually had skill in using this type of equipment, and now we can then purchase this item. So we're going to purchase one of these suits for now. And now we can go back to the drop suit fitting. So,
would you like to know more?
Now we can create a new one when it lets us do that. And we've got our Scout Type 1 here, so now we can place this in. Okay, so now we've got our Scout Type suit. Now as you can see, it's invalid because we need to fill in some other things in these slots. So infantry equipment, let's see what this has got right here. Now we've got our nano hives, right? We've got militia nano hive and we've got normal nano hives. We've got 51 of those, so let's put some of those in there. Infantry low power, right? We've also got the LNS, whatever that is. Infantry light weapon and infantry sidearm. So we have to select what weapon we want. Now we've got an assault rifle, militia shotgun, and so on. I think I remember looking at this before and seeing that damage is 31, rate of fire 750, clip size 60, and yeah, basically the clip size is less in the militia one. So we're going to go with the assault rifle here. Right, I'm going to put that in there. Now you can see that my kit is now valid. Okay. Now let's look. We've got a scrambler pistol, so put that in there. Alright. Now you can see at the top here we've got CPU 53 out of 132 and PG 9 out of 30. Now, if I then choose some other items, up here we've got this. We've got a militia shield extender and a militia shield recharger. Let's look at the difference between those. They're passive effects, so that means it just goes on as you're using it. Basically, this one is giving you a shield bonus, and the other one means that you're going to recharge your shield faster. Seeing as we're scout and we're kind of on the move, I don't know. I'm going to go with the recharger, I think. I like the idea of having a faster shield recharge. Now again, if we look at our overall, that's increased our CPU usage, etc. Now I haven't equipped any grenades. Let's go for that. An AV grenade or militia locust grenade. Splash damage 140, blast radius 6 meters. And splash damage 400, so the militia locust is quite considerably more. The only difference is that the max ammo you can have is 3 and 2, but I like the idea of having a very powerful grenade, so let's put that in there. And then over here on the right, we've got a militia cardiac regulator, which is passive. Stamina recovery bonus 50. Increases users' max stamina by 20% and stamina recovery rate by 50%. Again, that's pretty good. And you can see here how it says CPU 10 PG 6, so we can equip that. Now, if we go up here, we have another one, infantry powered module. Again, we only have a cardiac regulator, so we can purchase another item here to go in.
Would you like to know more?
So what we're going to be after is, I guess maybe equipment. No. Drop suit modules. Yeah. So we can buy different things, I think. What's weapon upgrades as well? Interesting. Different modifiers. So that was the thing that we had on the left, but hang on a second, let's go back because I cannot remember.
Would you like to know more?
Now here's our scout thing. Now what we want to do is edit this. Now that's the infantry high powered module and the infantry low powered module. That's infantry equipment and then obviously grenades. So we need low powered modules.
Would you like to know more?
So it's got to be here. Engineering modules. Okay, there's all sorts of stuff in here that we can't use yet. Electronics. Okay, this upgrades our CPU. Let's look at shield. Again, some more things that we can't use yet. We need to skill those up. Our armor, field mechanics level 1. So that's going to increase our armor, etc. Biotics. Okay, here's our cardiac regulator, and so on. Other things that we can skill up in, basically. Now, vigor. This is obviously our skill book that we can, increase our health and healing. We're going to need to buy that before we can purchase any of these other items here. Let's look what else we can get. Okay, so that's for your, the engineering is for your PG stuff. The electronics is for your CPU upgrading. Now let's look what weapon upgrading we can do. Maybe we can slot one of those in there, I don't know. We can purchase all of these. Increases damage output of all heavy handheld weapons by 3%, light handheld weapons, sidearms, and so on. Enhanced light damage modifier. Okay, it's got 45 on the CPU and 5 on the PG. Increases damage output of all light handheld weapons by 5%. So it's better than our 3, and it's 7k. Right, let's pick that up. Right, we'll see what it does. Now, how many of these do we want to buy? So we can only buy, I'm going to buy 1 at the moment. So now we go back to our drop suit.
Would you like to know more?
And we're going to put it back to our scout. Now, I don't know, I maybe have done this wrong, but I'm hoping that if I put this here, yeah. See, now, I don't think we can slot it. I think it's going to have to go in here. Yeah, there we are. So we have a range of choices to go into the high-powered module. Now, I don't know why... I don't know how we can differentiate between the two. I guess you may just find out what goes in those slots, basically. I'm going to stop showing that because it's getting annoying. Yeah, I was hoping that... I mean, can we only put biotics into that, basically? Am I wondering? Hey, look, there's other things that we can put in that we just haven't unlocked yet, basically. So mobility, here we are, look. So this would be quite a good one for us to unlock. Right, I'm going to unlock that. Mobility level 1, purchase and use skill book. Okay, so we're using that. Huh. Oh, we have to actually use it. I'm going to buy this, but I can't use it yet, but I will be able to in a minute. Right, so we've got one of those, kinetic catalyzer. Now we need to go back to our skills. So that we can do our mobility. I'm going to upgrade that skill point. Okay, there we go. I'm going to put another one into that just because. Right. Now you see 130. We need 130,000 to go back into that one. Now when we go to our fitting, we have now unlocked that. I'm going to close this as well. So when we go to edit this guy now, we can come into here, and there we are, basic kinetic catalyzer. We can put that in, alright, and we're close to maxing out our CPU and PG, but we've got it. So that's our character created, alright, that's all the different things we can do with it. Now the social thing, that's something that I don't know about that you can come to. I've got some mail here, I'm not going to look at that while I'm recording. System operation, obviously we've got the corporation, you can join corporations and so on and so on, but I think I've covered there the basics of how to initially set up your character. So we're going to look at a battle a little bit later on, but for today that's all we're kind of looking at, is just these kind of stat things. So that's been today, looking at the systems and the menus of Dust 514. You can join me next time. I'm going to be putting this scout used to combat, and we'll compare it. I'll start off with one of the default suits, then we'll use the scout suit, see how it compares, see how we get on with it. But for today, that's been my little look at how easy it is to get to grips with trying to understand the systems of this game if you have no understanding of it whatsoever. So I have come into this, I haven't watched any tutorials at all. I have people offering that, but I've just come into this blind. I've got a fairly good understanding now of how the systems work just by going through it pragmatically and looking at each element in turn. So it's not that hard to understand, it's just a bit overwhelming, and you need to come into it and have a slow and steady look at how these systems work. So if you want to join me next time, we're going to be trying out the scout suit. If you've enjoyed this, if you want to see more Dust 514, please let me know in the comments. Please also like, share the video if you have enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time for, again, more Dust 514.